The Indian Air Force has signaled that the operations are still on and there will be a briefing soon. Let's go across to Shiv Arur for more on this. All right, Shiv Arur will just be joining us shortly. Remember, this comes a day after cessation of hostilities, of the fighting, the ceasefire declaration that took place yesterday, and Operation Sindoor remains ongoing, is what the Indian Air Force has signaled. Also said that there is a lot of speculation regarding what took place in these last 4 days of the hostilities, where we saw this firing of drones from across the border, as well as missiles which are effectively countered by India. Also, the destruction of terror hubs there inside Pakistan, in POK as well as in Pakistan. 9 of them destroyed under Operation Sindoor. Let's go across to Shiv Arur now for more. And Shiv, given there's a lot of speculation regarding what took place these last 4 days, now there will be a briefing soon by the Indian Air Force?
That's correct, Gargi. This is the first, important to point out that this is the first public statement by the Indian Air Force since the beginning of Operation Sindoor. They've basically said they will hold a briefing soon to clarify on many of the aspects of Operation Sindoor. So what we can anticipate is there will be a lot of information on the strikes, the air battle over Jammu and Kashmir, and many other aspects. I also should point out that I have a feeling that this comment was probably triggered by a whole host of international media articles that have speculated upon the capture of Indian pilots, the crash of Indian fighters, Chinese help to Pakistan, which the Air Force has outright denied off camera. But they, I think, considering that there's been a total silence from the Indian Air Force's side, at least so far, has meant that all of these details will, come out in public, so there shouldn't be any speculation. The point, Gargi, where they, please refrain from speculation because ops are still ongoing. Just to clarify on that, this doesn't mean that, offensive operations are still on. It merely means that, so close after those strikes, the Indian Air Force obviously remains on maximum operational alert. Its readiness platforms, which are its aircraft and sensors, everything are on a maximum state of readiness. And that's what, Operation Still Ongoing actually means. So just wanted to give that clarity also.
All right, Shiv, and the fact that, they say the Operation Sindoor ongoing, this means that, we remain on high alert. And when the IAF has said that this briefing will take place soon, do we have any sort of timeline?
I've just asked the Air Force exactly that question, Gargi. I've said in due course, could mean anything. Is it going to be this week? Is it going to be later? I have a feeling it will be in the next 3-4 days, Gargi, because remember tomorrow is the second call between the DGMOs of India and Pakistan after the cessation of hostilities. Remember, they've agreed to speak tomorrow at 12 after 48 hours of the so-called ceasefire has lapsed. And I think it'll be after that the Indian Air Force, once things have sort of settled down and hit a kind of, normalcy rhythm on the line of control and elsewhere, that's when the Indian Air Force will probably plan this briefing. We are hoping that it'll be sometime this week itself, because any later than that, provides a window for even more speculation. On NDTV, we've been reporting all the facts, of course. Speculating on some of the more, extravagant aspects of what is being claimed happened over Srinagar and otherwise. So I think it will be sometime this week.
All right, sometime this week. If you can just read out that statement, Shiv, it says the IAF also urges all to refrain from speculation and dissemination of unverified information, that it successfully executed all the assigned tasks in Operation Sindoor with precision and professionalism, and the operations were conducted in a deliberate and discreet manner aligned with national objectives. As you said, and for viewers who are just joining in, the IAF is going to have a briefing soon. The Indian Air Force, a day after ceasefire was declared, after 4 days of the conflict that we saw along our western border. Again, Shiv, if you can tell us more about the the reasons for this. This morning we did see there was a briefing at the Prime Minister's residence, a key meeting, a high-level meeting that took place with all the services chiefs, as well as NSA, Defense Minister and Foreign Minister as well. So now the IAF saying, given the kind of reportage that is coming in the international media regarding what took took place between India and Pakistan. That is why IAF feels the need to come out and, have this media briefing?
Very true. That's exactly right, Gargi. The entire narrative, the reporting of the entire story, even though details of Operation Sindoor have been reported, and we've been, reporting details that we could report, which are not operational or classified in nature, there are some gaps, including the air battle, like I said, attrition on both sides, what kind of weapons were used, what exactly was impacted. The very broad details of those have been revealed so far in the series of press conferences that we've had. Remember that one of the officers briefing in the press conferences is Wing Commander Vyomika Singh from the Indian Air Force. But even so, the details that actually came out were largely on the surface for obvious reasons. They didn't need to get into them because the operations were still on. And it's interesting that the Indian Air Force still signals that operations are still on. So they're basically saying, give us a moment. We've been right at the front and center of this operation. And that's actually true, Gargi. I'm not even surprised about that. As far as Phase 2 and 3 of Operation Sindoor and Phase 1, it was the Indian Air Force that was the principal executor of those attacks, whether it was the missile strikes on the terrorist camps and infrastructure, or whether it was the missiles that landed at the 11 Pakistan Air Force bases in different parts of the country.